Right, so on the left hand
side.
side.
Am I a bit stiff there?
No, it's fine. No, to be fair, you relax your knees into it. So you're a little bit locked there, but then you would relax
I see what you mean,
as you go into it. Your knees sort of,
they
do flex. That's fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. I think as a tall person, it's tempting to sort of keep bending your knees more. As we said to you in the first lesson, the taller you are, the more you bend over the golf ball. You don't bend your knees here to try and squat down. Okay, so your spine angle there for me is very, very good. The one thing is, on this case, we saw your feet were aiming there. So the club and the path now are sort of swinging this way, hence why the golf ball made a good swing, and you see a reaction with your hand now went a bit off to the right, because that's where the ball went. You were just literally aiming there. So if the ball starts going that way, get 3 or 4 shots and see there's a sort of grouping of shots ending up over here. If there is, step back off the mat, check your alignment, go through the setup, and for you, alignment is something you sometimes fall into, say, a bad habit, but you don't quite get yourself lined up to target. You get a little bit off to the right. When you aim to the right, unless your body then sort of compensates and you sort of flick your hands at it, or you lean back on it, which could encourage topping the ball, hitting the ground first and or topping, I suppose. In the winter now, the ground being a bit soggy, if you're off your back foot, you're going to hit everything fat. So hitting off the back foot when the feet aim to the right can hit the ball straight, but again, we said 2 wrongs making a right. On a range, after 10 or 15 shots, doing the same thing over and over again, you find a good strike, and it's just, it's great. But as you said, 60 balls, and what do they achieve? Nothing really. So always try and get yourself, check that alignment. So when you got this one now, the second time around, you readjusted yourself. See your alignment now is perfectly straight towards your target. So you could swing the club toward the target, and the ball could then start just left as you like it. A little sort of fade back to target. Now, face-on wise, to sort of go through the change we made from the last 2 lessons, for me, shaft angle, perfect. Much more neutral, the full loft of a 7-iron, okay, as we set up. No sway at all. So the 2 things we've done from lesson 1, lesson 2 to now, you've done that and you're there. Okay, so your backswing is great. You're not swaying. You're not having the club face too far. Hands forward. Coming back to really good strike position there. Your lower half shifting to the left side nicely. Coming down the golf ball. Really good angle of attack. Twisting through and releasing the body through up onto that left side. And you can do that when you're lined up to target. If you're lined up to the right, this foot back here doesn't really want to move at all. It's always a little bit limited in its movement, but if we increase that restriction by aiming to the right, it doesn't move at all. So it's going to go out to the right, a weak shot to the right, a bit floaty, or the compensation off the back foot aiming right is you might flick your hand and then you get the elbow that goes way, and it goes way left, and you go, blind, where'd that come from? But that's just the reaction to the ball then, so just going off to the right there. So always check your alignment. I think for me, the checkpoints in your swing are you swaying or are the hands too far in front? They certainly aren't at the moment, so we can sort of thumbs up, yeah, great.
That's right, okay.
Just make sure we're lining up towards the target. And again, when you go to the range, 30 balls, almost give yourself a 30-minute minimum. So you sort of step off the range, think I've done something there. So when you're playing golf, where you're playing this weekend or when you next play, as you go round and when you finish, just keep a rough idea. Okay, how many fairways did I hit? How many greens did I hit in regulation? How many putts did I have? So when you come to the golf course, rather than go, I shot net 72 or net 77 or net whatever, and you're not very happy with that, you can go, well, okay, why? I was playing badly. Let's be more, don't say you're playing bad, I'll go to range to hit the ball better. Let's say I was putting badly, or I was hitting my irons bad, I was missing fairways, I'll go to the range to work on that.
Yeah,
so you identify the weakness in the swing or the game of golf and practice that, but with a purpose, not just beating golf balls for love and money.
When I played yesterday,
yeah.
I mean, consciously, I lined it up, that's easy to do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You can, again, static moves are a lot easier. Yeah.
My big thought was not to do
the bit exactly, and that for me, massively. I mean, you can see that for a tall person, that sort of your centre now is just rotating around there, fabulous. That's a really, really good position. There's no movement off the ball there, making a full 90-degree shoulder turn, lower half resisting nicely. Yeah, great.
It's exactly those shots.
Yeah, and that for me was probably aiming your body a little bit to the right, I would imagine, and then when you go on your back foot, your hands flick it left, so you get a big hooky one, or if you're playing basically a normal swing, it goes to the right. And after a while, when the ball starts going right, you go, I don't want to go to the right, I'll just start trying to hit it left. And in our mind, hitting the ball left, generally off the back foot, hitting it behind us. And that's that sort of hooky one, you overdo it. 2 negatives can make a positive, but consistency-wise, you might play 6 holes good, 6 holes bad, and 6 holes give up. And that's golf, isn't it, a lot of times. If we can try and get 12, 13 holes good, and then 4 or 5 that are okay, then we can score well. All right? Always come back to the original setup and check that. If they're correct, we can then work through the swing and check at your checklist for your faults. Are you swaying? No. Are your hands too far forward? No. Are you not releasing your body? No, you're fine. So you can work on the specifics in your golf swing. Okay?
Good, yeah.
Right, have a couple more then, mate, and then we'll leave it at that.